Hey, great Wednesday morning to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cesar Mascoro Jr. back with your 15 minutes to mastery. My name is Cesar Mascoro Jr. Like I already said, oh my goodness. So, hey, we come in here each and every day with our 15 minutes to mastery. Start getting your day off on the right foot because we all need it, myself included, man. Sometimes we have some of those days that just are unexpected, right? And life throws things at you, and you just got to be able to deal with them and move forward and keep going on. And that's what today is. Today is that day where we keep going on, keep moving forward. And that's why I thought it was really appropriate to come in and share this one quote, right, that I ran across, or really was specifically looking for something that applied here. And it says, excuse me, I won't lie, it doesn't get easier, not if you're doing it right. It doesn't get easier. A lot of times we're looking for the easy path. A lot of times we think that things are going to be easier as we move forward. Well, guess what? It doesn't get easier. It's just more difficult on different levels. Different things happen in our lives that like I say, more money, more problems, right? Well, I wish it was more money at this point. We are getting more money, but the reality of it, folks, is just there's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that you have to deal with. And like I've always told people in the past, and I will tell you this to my last dying day, you have to be able to compartmentalize things, put them aside, and keep moving on. Keep moving on. And, whether it's the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, the end of the year, you're always going to have things that come up that need to be dealt with. But the important thing is that you deal with them. You get them and take on them head on. Take on them head on and keep pressing forward. Because if not, then you start second guessing yourself. Doubt starts pouring in, and it can really affect you. Think about it. What if you were that way with your family? What if that way you were that way in your spirituality, whatever it may be? Any sort of doubts, folks, are going to keep us from moving forward. But the reality of it is never going to be easy. So if you think that whatever it is that you're going through, or whatever it is that you do is going to get easier, it doesn't. Especially when you try and operate at another level, at a higher level, at an elite level. Once you're starting to raise the bar, it becomes more automatic. You're able to maneuver quicker. You're able to accomplish things on a whole different level, but it does not get easier. The problems will always be there. I don't care who you are. Listen, get on any podcast, read any book, whatever it may be, of people that are so much more successful. Okay. And they will all tell you, man, there are issues that need to be dealt with. There are fires that need to be dealt with. Daily, there are problems coming their way. It's just on a different level, folks. So you need to mentally prepare yourself for these things and be able to handle them, set them aside, deal with them head on, so that you can keep moving forward. That's life, that's business, that's in everything. Okay. So what can we do today to make sure that we're moving forward? If you're out there right now and you're still running into some issues, you're still having some problems come up that you're having to deal with, what can you do today to finally squash that, put it in a little box, and move on? Okay. Now, you've got to make sure that you actually have dealt with it. You can't sweep it under the rug. Okay. Because believe me, I've done that plenty of times in my life. I'll tell you guys, I'm 51 years old. Okay. And I'll tell you, you know what? Here we go. I'm going to break it down for you this way. We hear all the time about hustling, right? We got to hustle. We got to make sure that we're moving, we're working, we're always pushing forward. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And I've said this before in the past, and I think it's something that needs to be touched on again. There's a difference between a hustler and hustling. Okay. Hustler and hustling. Where I grew up, my part of town, around the people I grew up with, not all the people I grew up with, but a lot of the folks I grew up with. Okay. They were hustlers. We're always looking for the shortcuts. We're looking, how can we scam the system? How can we do this? How can I avoid that? All these other things. And these little movements that we made, the little steps forward that we took, we consider them wins, right? And so you grow up mentally thinking that's the way you got to play life. And guess what? You know what? In my 20s and in my 30s, hell, even into my 40s, I feel like I had that mentality. It hasn't been until the last 7 to 8 years that I've truly understood the difference between hustler and hustling. You've got to do things the right way. You've got to make sure that everything is handled appropriately, right? Because there are, as we've been talking in my Bible study, we've been talking about precepts, right? The pastor's been talking, he brought up precepts. The Bible describes precepts. And precepts, for those of you who don't know, they're rules, okay? There are rules, laws. And so there are rules to society. I may not agree with all of them, okay? I may feel that nowadays there may be some issues on social levels that I do not agree with, okay? However, there are certain precepts, certain rules that we must follow so that you do not run into setbacks along the way. I have been guilty of not following these rules in the past, man. For whatever reason, doesn't matter whether it was for good or for bad. Doesn't matter. They were not followed, and you got to deal with the consequences. So if there's anything, I share all these things with you guys to tell you, right, to just like in our consulting with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery and helping retailers like here in Tyler or last week in North Carolina, and I'll be back there next week. I'm here to help them avoid the pitfalls, avoid the things that are going to slow their business down and ramp up their learning curve so that they can move forward a lot faster, a lot quicker, without skipping the steps. So I'm using the experience that I've had in the business to help them push forward a lot faster and accomplish the goals that they're after, right? Now, if there's anything that I can also share with you is this, okay? That you need to also make sure that in your own personal life, like in your business, that you're following the rules, that you're pushing forward, always push forward, always keep moving, always keep grooving and going. But it has to be within the confines of what is in those rules. There are rules to how we operate, okay? So that's what I would tell you. That's going to save you plenty of time. That's going to get you a lot further ahead. That's going to help you accomplish all the things that you want to get accomplished. I promise you, it's not going to be easy. Like we said at the beginning, it will not be easy. There will be hard times. There will be difficult times. There will be problems. There will be fires. There will be customers that are upset. There will be family members that are upset. It's just life and business. But if you're trying to do things the right way, okay, doesn't mean that you're going to be able to avoid those things. You will still run into issues, but you have to be mentally prepared for them, and you got to keep moving forward. So how can we do that right now? Today is the 3rd of January. What you can do after this call, folks, is you can think of what are the top 3 problems that I've got going on in whether it's personal, well, you should include them personal, okay, and business. And take a step this morning in addressing those top 2 or 3. Take a step in addressing those quickly and come up with a plan to be able to deal with them so that you can move forward and leave those things behind. So they're not weighing on you. They're not weighing you down and slowing you down, because believe it or not, it does. That's why a lot of times when I come in to the retailers, and I'm dealing with salespeople and I'm going through their follow-up files or paperwork that they've got, leads that they're calling, I'm blowing all of them out, the majority of them, getting rid of them, because that old stuff just weighs on you. It gets intimidating. You feel like you can't even deal with it and get to it. It's the same thing with problems. If you don't deal with problems, they're going to weigh on you. They're going to slow you down. They're going to keep you from moving forward, because you know they're there, but you refuse to address them. But it also does not allow you to keep moving on. So you've got to deal with them, get rid of them, and move. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing this year. This is your year, man. 2024. Make it your best year ever and operate at an elite level. That's the message that I have for you today. That's the message that I will have for you each and every day. And that is my wish for each and every one of you, that you rise to the top, no matter where you're at in the country, around the world, whoever's watching this. We want to see you get to a whole new level. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Enjoy your Wednesday. Get prepped for the weekend. I can't wait to meet you.